Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to IMU Medically Speaking. I'm the current president, Wasfi Sheikh. I'm an IMU student, and I'm currently in SEM 3. This is my vice president, Mega.
Hello everyone, I'm Mega, the Vice President of this year's IMU Medically Speaking. Just to give a little intro of our Medically Speaking Club itself. So we started in 2024 and Akshay was the founder of IMU Medically Speaking. After that, it was handed over to Suchita and Ankita for season 2 of IMU Medically Speaking. And now me and Wasfi are taking over together with our amazing team, and you guys can expect a lot of amazing podcasts from us. So on this episode, we have
Fadzil, who's famous not only for being an IMU student, but for being a wonderful TikToker. And then we also have our very own super senior Amr, currently in SEM 4. We have two guests from different walks of life in IMU right now. One is still in his theory practice, one is in his clinical practice. If you guys don't mind, please give us a brief introduction about yourself, starting with Fadzil.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Fadzil. Right now, I'm a fourth year medical student, semester 8, currently in IMU University, Seremban campus. And right now I'm in my research posting, and although I am a medical student, but I do my hustle on the side, which is content creation. I think that's about enough.
Amr?
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. So my name is Amr. I'm from Canada, and I'm in ME224. So as Fazli said, he's a year 4. I'm a year 2 medical student. And right now I'm going through my neuroanatomy block at the moment, coming up soon to the end of year for this year. So yeah, it's an honor to be here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys for coming. So why don't we begin with the first question? Mega, I'll have you take over.
All right, so my first question is, why medicine? Because with all the other interests that you all have, like content creation and other extracurricular activities that you're interested in, maybe choosing another course would have been easier in terms of the flexibility and the freedom that you would have gotten with time. But why medicine? What made you choose medicine?
So you want to go first?
Sure.
I'll give you the pleasure.
Thank you, Fazli. So I think that's a common question that a lot of medical students are asked, right, in interviews and everything. And I think it can be basic all the way to very complex. And I don't think I'm any sort of grand person or anything like that. I would just say ever since I was like a little kid, I've been surrounded by people who are in medicine. My mom, a lot of my family members, relatives, they're all in medicine. And I think seeing them help people, building a lot of charity work and all around that walk of life, I think it's inspired me. Not to mention, I love the sciences, biology, physiology. I love a lot of that. So ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to help people. So mixing all those together, I think medicine was the thing that I was most likely going towards. I think if not, it would be anywhere else in terms of helping the community. Maybe something like a fire department or a police officer. But I think medicine is what I'm most inclined towards.
I would have loved to see police officer Ahmed.
Yeah.
All right, now I regret giving you first because now I think you stole all my answers. For me, why I took medicine, I think generally everyone has the same reason, right? They do it because they want to help people. And that's on top of the list. But another reason why is because I'd say that I want a career that even outside of my working hours, I can still help people. Let's say if a person collapses or anything, I want to be that person who at least knows how to handle that stuff. And I know that outside, yes, you can take BLS management outside and everything, but I want a career that is within my career itself. So even though I'm outside of my job or outside of my place, I still can help people and everything. And also, let's say, in a world where aging population, of course, our parents and all, I want to be that person who can help my parents whenever they need help. Of course, in terms of financial, in terms of other stuff, you can do other careers like being an accountant or, let's say, you be a police officer. Of course, you can help people also. But for me, just medicine was the right thing for me. And also, I couldn't see myself doing occupation other than being a doctor. So that's why I took the career as a medicine.
Okay, I think those were really amazing answers. And firstly, I think I was watching one of your YouTube videos before coming to IMU itself. So in one of those videos, you mentioned that you were spoiled by choices when you got your SPM results because it was all A's and there were just so many things for you to choose from.
Yeah.
And then what was your thought process after that when it came to selecting from all those courses?
Thank you very much for support, by the way. I think this was the most recent video, right? I think I'm already repeating the answers already. But I would say the thought process, I think that everyone gets into this spiral of what career do they want to be, right? And of course, now with the social media exposure, there's so many careers for you to choose from. But for me, alhamdulillah, I was raised by my parents who were also doctors. So that was one of the reasons why medicine became part of my career. But my thought process was, out of all the careers that I want, what career would I be the most, I regret that if I didn't choose that career? Okay, I know that I can take other careers that would be more easier, like would be more flexible, I would have more time and even more money. But I just wanted to become a doctor since a child. And I don't want, because of the people talking to me, that, oh, it's going to be hard, oh, it's going to be very stressful, and your working hours are not going to, it's going to be 24/7. I didn't want that to be the reason why it stopped me being the career that I wanted to be. So that was my thought process. I just want to become who the person I was want to be as a child, right? No matter how much you grow up, you still have that inner thoughts of who you wanted to be. And it was, for me, it was medicine. So might as well just take the career that I always wanted to be.
Understand. Thank you. Masfi?
First of all, I'm glad I'm not being interviewed because my answers would have sucked, especially compared to you guys. But so you guys are both pretty far along now in your medical school career, as it is, right? Amr, Sem 4, you're about to go to clinical. Fadzil, Sem 8, you're pretty much almost done. Now that you guys are this far along, has your reason for being in medicine changed in any ways? If you could go back and tell yourself before applying anything different, is there anything you guys would have changed? Or is there anything that would keep you guys, is there anything that has made you guys more motivated even to continue?
Excellent question, Wasfi. I think since I joined, my strive to become a doctor, my desire, my passion towards medicine has only increased, I would say. I think being surrounded by people who are, teaching you these things, all these lectures, facilitators, everything, being surrounded by all these different beautiful things that we learn. I think learning the human body has only made me want to continue in medicine, because I think understanding why each of these things happen, and even though we don't know a few things, I would love to be able to, eventually be able to find the gaps between our knowledge that we have regarding certain illnesses, certain things that might not even be here yet. So I think getting just a little taste of it has really wanted me to just continue on this path, has really wanted me to learn more and more. Anytime I'm going through a lecture or anything, I find even the most minuscule thing and I want to know, why is it like this? Why is it, how does it affect? And find different things, not only to bridge my own, gaps in my knowledge, but also to reinforce it and make sure that I can be a good doctor in the future, because I will have, hopefully, the lives of people in my hand, or the decisions that they're going to make, and all those things. So I think it's very important right now to make sure that I continue to have that passion, because without that passion, I mean, not even just in medicine, but in any line of work, you're not going to excel well, because it's not what you want to do. Yeah. So I think, that's what
Oh, you want to answer for me also? All right. That's a beautiful answer, by the way. For me, it'll be the opposite, actually. Okay. At first, I was motivated, to learn medicine and all. But when you get to the clinical phase, I think then reality hits a little harder, because you'll see, because you're actively inside, you're not really actively inside the team, but you can see how the working environment is and how the surroundings are. It gets demotivating, honestly, when you see how many hours they're putting in, and you hear the stories and look how stressful they are. Now you see you can wake up at 6, you can go drink your matcha, you can go eat whatever you want, but by then everything's gonna be, I wouldn't say everything's gonna be disorganized, but it will take a lot of effort for you to manage yourself. So along the line, honestly, there's a lot of times where I thought twice about taking medicine. I'm like, why did I just take dentistry? But it's hard, honestly, as you go on, because especially now on Twitter and everything, seeing how the reality is. But I'd say that, especially in Malaysia right now, because there's a lot of doctors, there's not a lot of doctors anymore. There's a lot of students, but there's not a lot of doctors. That means whenever you're supposed to go into the housemanship and everything, everyone drops. That means they get their graduation, they get the certificate, and after that, they don't continue into the pathway that we're meant to be. There is a part of me that's scared that I'm going to do that because we never know how the future is going to treat us, right? But I feel like that reason alone, knowing that there's not enough doctors and seeing how many people are suffering right now, I feel that's what still motivates me to still go to classes, to still go to lectures. That's the reason why I'm still doing this career.
Okay, it's very interesting to see that two of you, although have very different answers, both of you still share kind of the same goal, even at the end of it, which is good to see. Like, I think in medicine, like, it's good that everyone has a different view of it, because then everyone can change it where the gaps are, you know, because since Amr doesn't see it the way you see it, when he enters medicine as a doctor, he'll be able to fill up gaps from the view that he sees, and you'll be able to fill up the gaps that he cannot see, you know. So what do you think of that, Amr?
Yeah, I think it's very nice to hear that perspective. And I really appreciate you saying all that, because I think, especially from a preclinical standpoint, I don't know the practical aspect completely. So it's nice to know what I'll be getting into myself eventually. And I've also heard a lot that, once you get into clinicals, it's going to be very tough. It's going to be like a, you wake up and you finally smell the coffee. You realize it's like completely different. But I think, yeah, I can imagine. I think I respect you for that, wanting to continue, even though there's a lot of times where it might be demotivating. And I think having, knowing that there are people who, even though it's very tough, are still wanting to do that, it's very nice to know that you're not alone. And I'm sure there's a lot of people around you as well that are going through the same thing. So, yeah, I think it's very nice to have other perspectives and everything. And I mean, I'm also not there yet, so it's eventually, inshallah. So yeah,
Inshallah, all looking forward to it.
yeah.
So yeah, for everyone listening, motivation alone is not enough. There's got to be a deep-rooted passion. Yeah,
100%,
things will get
100%.
tough over and over again, and just being motivated won't magically make it easier, right?
True.
All right, so now that we have addressed the topic of why medicine, and both of you have shared your beautiful insights on why you chose medicine, it's also very outstanding that you guys are very active beyond medicine as well in terms of content creation. And you, Amir, you're in a lot of clubs and societies as well. So I think my first question will be directed towards Fadzli. Right. So Fadzli, why did you choose content creation? Because content creation itself is a full-time job, you know. There's editing, there's where you sit in a room and you just brainstorm a lot of ideas. It takes a lot of time. So why content creation?
Honestly, this content creation was never meant to be part of the journey I am in right now. So it actually happened when I was in first year. So I just thought, how about I just vlog using my phone, just to keep as my memories. But then when I posted on YouTube, it turns out a lot of people were watching. And then, so I just continued on YouTube, just doing my own stuff. Then there was one time, I think last year January, it's quite recent now, that when I really went head on to all this content creation. I took the leap of faith and started posting on TikTok. Okay. And that was scary because before this I thought TikTok was just dancing and everything, so I didn't want to go into that world. But I just took a clip of my video that was saying tips on how to study, I think, for medicine or something. Then I posted on TikTok. Then surprisingly, the next day it got 100K views and everything. So that was my first post, and I was like, whoa, there's actually something here. So I saw the opportunity, and I thought might as well just capitalize on the opportunity that I have. And then I also have a background of video editing, and all of this is my hobby. That's why I don't mind doing this. Even though there's a lot of things to it, you have to put a lot of time into it, but that's my hobby. So it actually de-stresses me whenever I do all this stuff. So that's why I don't mind doing it. So, and going back to the TikTok just now, is because when I started it, a lot of people were watching. So it was an opportunity for me to spread the idea I have, to spread the knowledge that I have, and to help as many people as I can. So that's why I just continued whatever opportunity that I had from that one video on TikTok last year to whatever I have going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I think like the first video I watched was when I was coming to IMU, and I was like, oh no, I need to know more about this university itself. And I was searching everywhere, and your video was one of those that came up on the YouTube suggestion. I think it has helped a lot of medical students and IMU students who especially come from international countries.
Thank you.
So thank you for doing what you're doing. And right now your audience has went beyond IMU as well. There's a lot of medical students from all other universities watching as well.
Thank
Yep.
you very much. I'm blushing. Oh my god.
Actually, the first video I saw of you as well was on TikTok, and it was like
Oh,
your
really?
day in the life video.
Yeah.
And because I'm also planning to go to the Seremban campus,
I see.
so like you actually made me think it looked fun. You know, like
That took a lot of work, you know. That took a lot of work.
I remember seeing that video and I was like, oh man, I can't wait to finish it and go to clinicals. That looks like so much
So you
fun.
see the reality there. Hey, but it is fun. It's just a different type of fun to whatever Bukit is going on.
I can imagine. Amr, for you,
Thank you.
every time I see you, you're doing something fun, right? And like, if you're not studying, you're having fun. So, whether it's clubs and societies thing, whether it's just outing with friends, like, how do you manage that? Not only how do you manage it, but what keeps? Because I say no a lot of times. You know, like, because I have friends outside of IMU as well, you know, non-medical students, and they always want to hang out, and I'm like, if only you guys knew, man. You know, so how do you do it? What drives you to go out and do that stuff, and then you still have the energy to come back and continue studying, you know, keep your grades up and all that?
I think it is very important to have a few outlets just to de-stress. Just like how content creation, which is very nice. I also watched a lot of his videos, by the way. Very good quality. When I first came as well, I watched them and they're very helpful. And just like how that's a way to de-stress, a nice thing to, you know, just take your mind off of things and have fun. I think the same way extracurriculars and outings, spending time with friends can also be another de-stressor. So I myself, thankfully now I'm free. I don't have any more extracurriculars for a little bit. Last thing was Med Cup. I was batch captain for ME224. And right now I'm just wanting to focus on my current exams that are coming up. But aside from that, I think when I did have my extracurriculars, I wanted to do a lot because I wanted to be involved. I think when I was in high school myself, I wanted to do a lot of those things, but I was always a bit more timid, a bit shy, not knowing, would I succeed in this? And I did a few things, but not as much as I wanted to. So when I came to IMU, I was really wanting to put myself out there, wanted to do a lot of stuff. And I think you could say I took a bit too much on, but at the end of the day, I'm glad I was still able to handle it, because I think at the end of the day, I took on things that I enjoyed. Being in clubs such as, I was in International Student Society. I think being an international student myself, it was nice to be in that environment. We did a lot of fun things, and I got to see a lot of different cultures, so it was really nice. I was also part of Charity Fair, so with Charity Fair helping out, it's a charity organization, so that in and of itself, I found it was very enjoyable. And I think just taking time off from studying and doing something else, putting my mind to something else was good, because I think as much as I like studying medicine, if I'm constantly looking at diagrams, if I'm constantly reading the same line over again, how does this work? How does that work? I think I would go crazy.
Yeah.
So I think it's very good that I had those outlets just to relax a little bit, do that. And then, of course, going out as well, I think it's very nice we are social animals, right? So I think we need people here and there, and I think it's just nice to be able to, close the books, go out, have a nice dinner, go and have some fun, go on a hike, go all the way to Genting, things like that. So I think it's just what I want to be able to have to relax.
I think one thing you said that I really liked is that you said how when you were like in high school, you were a bit too timid to get involved. And one awesome thing about being in IMU is that since almost everyone is a med school or science student, most people who get into med school or science student come from similar background. They're also very timid in high school. They were just in the books, right? So this is also a good chance, like, there's no shame, because everyone was probably, or at least most people, they were probably just people who were in their books. They didn't have a chance to be as social as everyone else, because people who are usually more social, more engaging, go and pursue other careers, right? So this is a really good chance also for people who come from the same background, to because in medicine, it's not just books. Even once you're in the clinic, you need to know how to talk to your patients. You
For
need to
sure,
learn how it's like
100%,
working
yeah.
in a team. You won't be a lone ranger, right? You're working with the nurses. You're working with the administration, with the HR. So first of all, I think it's really great you're doing all these extracurricular.
Thank you.
You're basically giving your inner child a space to roam free finally. Mega, anything you'd like to add?
No, I think it was amazing, Amir. Actually, I could relate a lot to you because back when I was in Singapore, in my primary and secondary school, I didn't really have a chance to explore as many co-curriculars as possible. And when I was coming into IMU, I thought the content of academics itself would be too much to handle. But I think if you pace your time well, it is definitely possible to venture and figure out different hobbies as well.
Yeah.
So that's amazing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And firstly, I would like to ask you a question. So on the topic of content creation and also on the topic of how your clinical rotations are very long and tiring, could you tell us how you find the energy and time? So is it like at the start of the week you plan the content you want to do, and then in the middle of the week you film it and then edit? How does it go?
So actually, I get asked this a lot, right? So in terms of balancing, how do I balance it? I feel like the easy part of me compared to other content creators is that what I do is I vlog. I just film whatever is going on with my life. Like I don't have to I have to set up this camera. I have to go to this place over. I don't have to do that. All I do is just film whatever is going on with my life. If I'm going to Frisbee, I'm filming that I'm going to Frisbee. If I'm going to the hospital, I just film that I'm going to the hospital. So it's like what I'm doing now is just a documentary of my life. So that whenever I had kids, you want to see dad? Okay, just look at my videos. That's it. So I don't have to explain to them. So that's why, even though it looks like there's a lot of things, but I don't have to plan out my life. That's the easy part. I just film whatever goes on with my journey, and then I film it to my quality. Like I put a high quality and everything, and that's how I plan. That's how I just film my stuff. So I mean, there are some times where I get collaboration and all. That one requires planning, but usually how I do it is just I film it in a bulk on the weekends, because on the weekdays it's very hard to balance it. Of course, even though I do a lot of stuff, but I do get burnouts, and I still do have to study also. So the weekdays, usually I don't really film as much. Even though if I film, I just film records on the go like that. But all the editing process usually happens on the weekends on my free days. And usually I like to see the schedule the week before. So whenever the week ahead, I can see, there's a small point, there's a free time here, you capitalize that time and do other stuff. So that's how I'm able to balance all my work life and also the side hustles that I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's great. I think your YouTube channel features a lot of things, like not just academics alone, but everything else you do. And I think that's very motivating for us students as well, to go and play sports, join Frisbee and everything.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add?
I like the idea of filming for my children. Just
It's easy, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have to ask much. Okay. Just give them a YouTube channel.
Give them an iPad with all the videos on there.
This is
already.
dad.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly. Or honestly, my initial thought on how I was going to tell my children about my life, just show them tung tung. And tell them that actually sums it up, man.
And that causes, we continue to brain rot. Yeah.
Exactly. If I got it, you're getting it too. This is generational now. All right, Amr, coming back to you. Have your extracurriculars ever affected your academics in any way?
If I'm being honest, I would say yes. I think in semester 2, I took on a lot of extracurricular because I wanted to make sure that at the end of the day, I think your CV, your resume, all that matters a lot, right? And so I wanted to wanted to, put myself out there and do a lot of things just for the fun of it. I also wanted to, actually gain the experience and improve upon myself. So I did, I think, get a bit too much of stuff, right? So I was doing a lot of things. Like I said, International Student Society, I was in drama club, I was in chariot fair, I was part of the orientation committee as well. So there were a lot of the hectic roles. And I think one thing is it did cut into a little bit of my study time. So unfortunately, there were a few times where I wasn't able to dedicate as much time to studying. So I had to cut in here. I had to skim through a few lectures, not being able to do everything right on time. But I think having a solid, decent study routine was still helpful, because I think if I didn't have that, and the main thing is to keep a calm sense of mind, stay cool, collected. Because I think if you think, oh my God, I don't have enough time for this, I need to do this, I have these commitments, then the worst thing in that scenario to do is to panic and not do anything. You know, I'm just like, okay, I need to do one thing, let me just open it and get this one thing done, get the ball rolling. And I think, thankfully, I was able to still have a bit of time here where I could go through all the lectures and still provide for my extracurriculars and still deliver decently. Not as good as I would have hoped, but I think I'm very happy with what I ended up getting in the end of year for that year. And I think the main thing is just to understand at the end of the day, grades don't matter entirely. They don't matter. Yes, they do in a certain sense, but not to the point where you need to lose your life over it, or like, oh, I can't do this, I didn't get this grade, I'm cooked. No, it's okay. It's okay. And there's always something else, at the end of the day, you might think this is the destination where you want to get to, but that path is always going to go somewhere else. You never know that. It's just a focus on delivering however you can in the best way possible. And that's what I focus on. And yes, maybe it was a little bit of a decline where I, didn't want to do, I didn't get to do it as good as I could, but at the end of the day, I got through it, and that's what matters. You always get through it. So yeah.
Okay. First of all, I just like to say, Sem 2 was not easy. So the fact that you did Sem 2 on top, and with all those things on top of it, like, that in itself is amazing. Because I didn't do any of that in Sem 2, but Sem 2 is crazy, so anyone who's still going through Sem 2 right now, if you're struggling, you're not the problem, I promise. Sem 2 is just, it was, because Sem 1 was like, oh yeah, here's medicine C, it's not so bad. And then Sem 2, it's like, we lied, it is this bad. But the fact that you made it through Sem 2 doing all that stuff, and your performance only went down just a little bit, that in itself is already amazing. So like other people watching should know, you not only can you do it, but it really won't affect you as much as you think if you have a decent strategy on how you go about things.
100%. Yeah, but please pace yourself.
Yes.
That matters a lot. Of course, test your limits, but know where you might fall. Do you have anything to add?
For me, to add on anything, I just see the same things that you said already, because we, as human beings, we want to achieve everything, right? We want to get grades, but we also want to get good curriculum, and we want to do all this. But again, it all goes down to priorities. If your priority is getting good grades, then go for it. If your priorities is in doing curriculums, go for it. You can't take all the eggs in the basket, So for me, also, grades, they don't matter. I mean, they do matter, but I feel like when you're in medical school, everything changes. Like when you were doing A-levels or when you're doing high school, getting straight A's was the thing then. It was so easy. It was not easy. It was not easy. But it was an aim that we were trying to go for. But when you're in medical school, as long as you pass, that's it. So the whole story changes. So that's why I say is that even though grades don't matter, but still get it along with you. But also curriculum also matters, as in like you want a life outside of medicine also, because you want to have a story to tell other than just saying, oh, all I do is just study. Don't make your life boring. I know that people say medical school is hard, medical school is all this, but it's your own story, it's your own narrative. So go ahead and be the storyteller of your own story.
Yeah, that's true. I think like one thing people need to understand is like your grades don't define what a great doctor you're going to make. At best, your grade only defines how good you are at taking tests. So if your test is not on paper, what are you going to do then, right?
But unless you're doing PMS, then the grades matter. I can't say much.
Guys, it might define a little more than what you can do.
Yeah, there's more into it.
Yeah. Meg, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, actually, but on the topic of FPP, Fazli, could you tell us how did you handle FPP? Because I think you did a vlog even when your FPP was
Yeah.
happening. And I think you were walking back from IMU and you were like, oh, this paper went like this. I think I will pass. And, you were just explaining your feelings. And while FPP is going on, the idea of vlogging itself it's just crazy to me. So how did you do it?
I mean, it's fun though to vlog while having a midlife crisis, I would say. Because you get to see the stages of, how would you say, of denial, I would say. You're going for an exam, so you can see, oh, it's going to be okay. Then when you suddenly say, oh my God, I'm not going to do this. Then when you get your results, oh, I actually did it. So I like to see this because, I mean, I feel like everyone records, but the difference between me and them is that I post whatever I record. So that's the difference. So, I mean, maybe you say that, oh, how can you vlog while you're studying? Isn't that a lot of burden? Isn't that a lot of energy to do? But for me, because I like to do it. So in a difference that people also do it, but I like to do it, and also I like to edit it, and I like to post it so people can see a different perception of how medical students are. Because what we see now we only see on the outside, and what I want to do is I want to bring the people in the inside. As in, like, I want to see how it actually goes. Is it stressful? Yes. But can you have fun? Also, yes. So whenever I'm vlogging, I keep it as authentic as possible. That's why you can see my vlogging. Sometimes I look very happy. Then the next day, I'm like, oh, damn, he is a different person. Yeah. But even though whenever I put it outside there, it makes me look vulnerable. But I feel like it makes people emotionally closer and able to understand how it is as a medical student. So that's why I just post, even though it's not an ideal person that you would want to see being a doctor, seeing them crashing out everything. But I feel like it makes a doctor look more human than who people think they are.
Actually, I wouldn't say it's not ideal. I would say very ideal because people can relate. They understand
true.
there's more being a doctor is still being a human being.
True. Yeah, because sometimes people think that, we pay the doctors, so they're supposed to act this way. But we also forget that they're humans. Other than doctors, I mean, also like the people on social media, the actors, everything. We only see them on the screen, and we don't actually see them as a human being. So that's what I'm trying to do with whatever content I'm doing right now. Is just seeing them on a different perspective.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Speechless.
All right, so Amr, I'm gonna come to something that may sound slightly personal. Yeah. So, I don't party a lot, but every time I go to one, you're there. Every single time, and I'm just wondering, how do you manage? Because on top of all your extracurriculars, right? Going to a party wipes me out. Right, I don't even do much there. Just standing there talking to people is already too much for me. Once I go home, I need 2-3 days to recover.
Yeah.
But I see you manage very social, very fine, and then you still have your extracurriculars on top. Do you ever feel burnt out?
I think burnout is something almost everyone will probably experience. And I think I myself experienced it a little bit in semester 2. And I think one of the things is that when I do go to some sort of outing, to some function, to some party, I make sure that, hey, can I go to this and then I'll still be okay the next day. I don't drink alcohol, which is a good thing, so I make sure I'm not, hungover or anything like that. But even then, going to a function is still draining itself, being around so many people, and whether it be just very loud, a lot of people are coming up to you, a lot of conversations, a lot of interactions, it can take a toll. Thankfully, whenever I go with people who I think kind of ground me in a sense, and, when I'm with them, I know I'll be okay. And I also have a lot of fun, and I think when you go and are focused on just having fun and just take a moment to relax from everything else, I think that helps a lot. One of the things is I make sure to not to, go to so many things, because a lot of people are always like, hey, let's go do this, let's go do that. And I think there were a few times where there were some people I was hanging out with, and they were always saying, hey, let's go to this, let's go to that. And you need to know when to be able to say, I'm good. You guys go on ahead. As much as they might be saying, oh, please come, it'll be fun, it'll be, all that. They might be clowning on you, hey, you're not coming, you're a loser, all those things. Hey, I might be a loser, but I want to be, I'm going to be happy. I want to be okay. I'm content with myself, and I think that's what matters. So it is funny that every time we've gone, but you know, I think it's just important to know, hey, can I go to this? Will that be okay? And will I have fun? That's the most important part. So yeah, I don't go to too many things. I just want to say that, by the way. I don't go to that many things, but yeah, I think it's nice to be able to have, you know, a few of those parties that you might go to just to have fun. But it just depends, you know. It depends on the type of party, depends on a lot of factors. So just have that in mind.
I will add that sometimes when I go out and like sometimes I feel a bit like, oh man, should I really be out? You know, I got studying to do. And then I see you there and I know that you're a very capable student. It does make me feel a bit better. Like, oh, if he's here, you know, like maybe it's not that bad. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, you know. So it actually, I do feel even more relaxed when I go to one of these and I see you there because it keeps me hopeful, you know.
No, I'm glad. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of people that, you know, one thing is people always are crowded by the fact that, oh my God, I feel so behind. I think some people tend to forget there's a lot of people that are in the same boat as you. And you are also not always as behind as you think you are. And it's just good to internalize the fact that there's so many people around you that are going through the same thing, not just in terms of academics, but in a lot of things. And I think that always helps to just, oh, you okay?
Yeah.
And that just helps, you know, to just make everything feel okay, feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Meg, is there anything you'd like to add?
I think since we're on the topic of burnouts, I think I would like to ask you firstly about, have you ever thought of quitting YouTube? Because I think this is a very curious question among all medical students. There were definitely times where the work just gets too much to handle. And especially with you while you're doing content as well, has there ever been a point where you're like, oh, I think I'm done. I might want to quit YouTube?
Thankfully for me, doing content is a part of my hobby. So whatever I'm doing, I'm liking what I'm doing. But honestly, if there's somewhere down the line, if I stop liking it, then maybe I'll just stop doing it. Because whatever I'm doing right now, I'm enjoying it. But let's say if it becomes like work and it becomes stressful and if it's on my mind 24/7, I think then maybe I need to take a break. Maybe even not for like retired for real, but you know how some YouTubers, they say like, oh, I'm gonna retire forever, then suddenly like 1 year they're gonna pop up again. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. So, and also because I'm gonna start working and hopefully in 1 year or 2 more years. So that's when I think it's gonna be a bit more tricky. So that's maybe the quality might drop, but the videos will still be out. But let's see how life will work there. But so far, there's no intention for me to stop yet.
All right, that's great. Vasco, do you have anything?
Yeah, I just think what you mentioned about like if it stops becoming fun, you'll stop doing it. I think people just need to remember like you're not obliged to keep doing something all the time. You know, like you have the free will to at any point be like, all right, here's the line. You know, I'm stopping there, right? So the only obligation you have is to yourself at the end of the day. And even like Amr mentioned, like people keep clowning on him for not going, you know. That makes no sense, you know, like if you don't want to go, you should never feel pressured to do these things because at the end of the day, going and not having fun is even worse, you know. So, yeah.
And to add on to that, I think you see when content creators, they feel like they're obliged to hear to their audience, oh, my audience doesn't like this, I shouldn't put out this. But in the end, it's my page, it's my videos. So why do you feel that you're controlled by them? I mean, I get it, you are all your career right now is built by them, but it's still your own career. So you have your own will to create whatever you want. So that's what I just want to say to the content creators out there.
Yeah. Plus, if the fans don't like it, there's so much stuff they can watch. You know, you can always find what you want to watch elsewhere.
You can easily be replaced, not gonna lie.
No, I'm not saying you could be replaced. I'm saying the fans, if they want to see something specific, it's not like they're limited on options, right? A quick Google or YouTube search and you'll find what you need. You can go to anyone who comes to watch you should know what they're coming to watch, right?
Yeah, I think that's very nice that Fadzil's mentioning that, and I think you should keep thinking like that. That's like your, you know, space to have fun, because in terms of fans, I think the people who enjoy what you enjoy will naturally come.
Exactly.
And you'll have that naturally, and just to focus on that and not to think about what the haters might say or things like that. Just keep having it as a space to have fun, something that you can do to, you know, just ground yourself. And I think that's very important, and I respect you for that. It's really nice. Yeah.
That's great advice, not gonna lie. I'm actually taking the advice home now. Thanks, bro.
Mega, would you like to add on to anything?
All right, so I think we can move on to general questions for both of you. So I would like to start off by asking, what is something that people glamorize about your lifestyle? Because in our eyes, you guys are like the perfect medical student who, again, your grades are really good and you guys still go for parties and you have content creation, extracurricular activities. Everything is there. You have leadership positions that you're holding as well. So what is it that people don't know that you go through personally amidst all this stuff that's happening?
Personally, for me, as a viewing from a content creator side, I feel what people don't see is like the pressure I get from the outside world. Like whenever I'm doing content creator right now, as you said, people will think I'm the perfect medical student. So whenever I go to the hospitals, I should answer every question that the doctor asks. I should know any disease. Now when I go to a patient, some patients even know who I am. So that's scary because they expect that I know everything. I think that's a part that they don't see, that I'm actually just a normal medical student like other people. It's just that I want to record my life. That's it. In other sense, I'm just like a normal guy walking and recording videos. So, and also there's like sleepless nights, not because I'm studying, but because I'm editing, which I shouldn't be doing. I should be studying more. But I feel like that's the other perspective that people don't actually see. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very well put. I think at the end of the day, we are just the normal, we're just normal people, no one is higher than the other, and we're all just doing our best. And I think one of the things that even you guys are doing is, oh, you're perfect, you have a lot of these extracurriculars and all that. And at the end of the day, on the outside perspective, I might try to keep calm and collected like I mentioned, but there will be times where I might crack or break, at home, where I'm like, oh, this is a lot of work. Oh, right, like a few weeks before FPP itself, I was thinking I'm gonna fail, even though it's almost always never the worst thing that will happen. So I think at the end of the day, I'm just like everyone else, and I'm just trying to do my best out here. And I think one of the main things that I want to do is just to keep on giving it my all. And I think everyone should do that. Focus on, themselves and doing the best that they can, focusing on each day. Hey, what did I improve on here? Did I, stay the same? Did I do anything better today? And I think that's it. Just have that type of mentality. And so, yeah, I think overall, just a normal guy doing things. And I'm not perfect. I miss sleep, I miss a lecture here or there that I have to catch up on later. And yeah, that's just how it is.
Okay, you both admit that you're just a normal guy, but you're just normal people doing things very well, might I add. So outside of medical school, outside the hobbies and extracurricular activities, we all have relationships we need to manage, whether it's with family, friends, or romantic interests, right? Do you ever feel like medical school impacts any of these in any ways? Like, do you ever feel like either you're missing out, or even if you do have to maintain your relationships, especially with family? Like, I know I barely call my parents anymore, right? But all forms of relationship, do you ever feel like you're missing out, you want to do more, or do you feel like you just can't seem to get the time for it?
Would you like to answer first?
Of course, it does affect your relationships. Me also being from Kelantan, which is like the East Coast, it's like a 6-hour drive away from here. I go back home probably like in 1 year, probably around 3 to 4 times only. So it does affect my relationship, especially with my family in a sense. And in terms of with my friends, right now, mostly my friends now are all like situated in the same place or in the same career that I have right now. Like friends from back school, like the old friends, you actually have to plan to meet up. Like you have to plan like 3-4 months before to actually meet up. And thankfully, I have friends that understand I'm a medical student and I'm busy. But to the other people that they don't really understand, in a sense that we're just busy, and it's not that we don't want to hang out. It's just that we can't really do much. So that's why my friends are all I meet now is usually the same people every time.
Mm.
It's because you need to, as I say, prioritize, even though there's a lot of friends that you want to go out with, but still you need to study.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes all I do sometimes just video call because we don't really have enough time to meet up. So that's how I still try to maintain that balance of my relationships. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just like Fadzil mentioned, I think for the most part it's always very tough to be able to meet up. You always have to schedule very much in advance, and especially because I have all my family and friends back home in Canada, the time difference is quite vast. It's like I think a 14-hour difference,
Whoa.
so they're behind by 14 hours. So let's say
You're basically in the future compared to them.
yeah. So I always say, hey, I'm one day ahead of you guys.
By the way, this is gonna happen.
It's my Saturday right now. You guys still have to wake up for work. But yeah, I think, unfortunately, because of that, for my parents and my brother, I have one younger brother, we don't always get to call, and so I think it's very different because I used to, I live with my parents, I live with my brother. We went to school together, and I think just that huge difference now being alone, that sometimes can hit you, but I'm just glad that I can call them whenever, and even though it might be late at night for them, they'll pick up. And so yeah, I think a few things that are different there now, and especially with my brother, he's around 15, so I'm gonna be missing a bit of his upbringing as well. Unfortunately, I won't always be there, so that's like one downside, unfortunately. And I think in terms of friends, most of my friends that are really close, I know they're set with me for life. So they're the ones that once you go past a certain amount of time, that they'll always be there.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I'm happy about, is back home they're always like, hey, when are you coming? Oh, you're coming this day, right? And all that. Every now and then they message. And what's really funny is actually one of my closest friends from Canada is now here as well. So I think that's just one thing that I'm really happy about. So every now and then we meet up. But the one downside is the difference in semesters. We have different schedules, and so we can't always hang out. But I think I've made a few friends here as well, and it's very nice. But I think, like Fadzil was mentioning, some people might not understand that you're a medical student, but some people will, and I'm happy that there are friends that I have that understand that and aren't always demanding, hey, let's call right now, let's do something right now. So I think there's always some sort of effect that can take place on relationships, but I think as of right now, there's like upsides and downsides. That's what I would say.
Yeah, definitely. When you have like a lot of things to juggle, I feel like the sad part is that the relationships that take the biggest hits are the ones with the people we're closest to, because we kind of know that accept it, like I know if I tell my mom I can't call you now, I'm studying, or like I know she'll just accept it because she also wants the best for me. Or especially if it's close friends, they want to see me succeed. So yeah, but again, the good side about that is knowing you have such people, that want to see you succeed, and they know what you're doing is important to you, and they're there for you at any time, So it's good to hear that both of you guys have such people in your lives as well. All right, I think we're coming to an end. So before I ask you a few final questions, I just want to say I'm really proud that for my first podcast, I had you two guests. You guys were amazing guests, and Fadzil, you made me look forward to going to clinicals, so I gotta thank you for that. Amr, I've told you many times, you've saved me throughout, like every single exam I have, I've always gotten some advice from you, and it's always worked out. So thank you guys for that, and thank you guys for coming. Mega, would you like to take over?
All right. Okay, so I'll just be asking the final question. So for all our viewers, all the juniors who are barely surviving in medical school, what would be your one tip of advice for them? Be it whether they want to start a life outside academics or just managing everything in general in medical school.
Okay, wow. One tip of advice. I think everywhere you go, you'll always hear, oh, do this, do that. At the end of the day, you will always have only yourself. And I think one of the main things you should do is to never stop believing in yourself and never stop trusting yourself. I think that's very cliche, yes, but you don't know how far that goes, because I think whenever you think, oh, you can't do this, that will happen. You won't be able to do it. And making sure that, hey, I'm just as capable as anyone else. I'm doing my best. That's the most important thing. And I think just surround yourself with good people, especially in medicine and in IMU. It can be very tough with the constant amount of work you have to do, and not having like at least one outlet to be able to just relax can be very difficult. So I think overall, just surround yourself by good people, believe in yourself, and most important part is to focus on your priorities. You know, here I might have to go do something, here you might have to do something, and unfortunately there might be times where you have to procrastinate, but at the end of the day, without that effort, it'll be very difficult to succeed. So believe in yourself, put in that effort, and just, you know, surround yourself with good people, be around good people, be a good person as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that was a lovely answer. He took my answer scheme. I should never give my mic first to him. But let me just keep it short and simple. Feel that the best advice I could have given myself when I started was to stop compare yourself to other people. I think that was the most fault that I had when I started, because I mean, I had a friend that was studying 24/7, so I went along to study with him. I studied day and night, and when we went to exams, the grades were not telling the same story. That's what I would say. And you don't understand why lah. And I think that's when I realized that I shouldn't build my life as how my friend is living his own life, because everyone has their own needs, everyone has the way they want to live. So let's say he has good grades, but maybe he doesn't have the same situation that you are in. As in, for me, maybe I don't have as good grades, but I have my other stuff that I want to deal with, that I want to succeed with. So then when you stop comparing your grades with other people, then you can live a more, I would say, peaceful life. And it doesn't mean that you always need to get high grades. It doesn't mean that you always have to stay on top of class. As long as you're enjoying whatever you're doing, as long as you're living your life to the fullest, because this is the last time you're going to be a student. I mean, it depends if you're going to continue anything or what, but this is the last time you're going to have a time where time doesn't matter as much. Financial, you're still getting paid with your parents' money and everything. So live your life to the fullest. Stop comparing yourself to other people, and just enjoy when you still can. Yeah, that's what I could say.
I think that's beautiful what you guys said, because at the end of the day, we all get to go through university once only. So it's really up to us, because in a place like medical school, it's very easy to get influenced by your peers, be it whether they are partying a lot and enjoying a lot, or be it whether they are like really studious. It is really easy to be influenced. But I think at the end of the day, it's up to us to actually sit down and see what do we want to do. We can take up 5 extracurriculars and not be happy, and we can take up 2 and we can still be happy. So I think it's the balance that matters the most.
Just to flex a little, you said you only go through uni once. I went through uni twice because I did a degree before this. But still, for the rest of you, what they said, I think I couldn't have put it better myself. Yeah. So just assume this is the first and last time. You know, it's not gonna get that much better than this. So enjoy it as best as you can, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for coming. Again, I couldn't have asked for better first guests. With that, today's episode has come to an end. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Bye, guys. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Wasfi, and I'm the the current acting president of IMU, Medically Speaking, and this is my guest. Current acting president, Wasfi Abdullah Sheikh, and I'm IMU student in SEM 3. This is my vice president.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
I finally did it right, dog.
Sorry, no. Sorry. Okay, last one.